Hello everyone, this is an NDC joining again for another React video. It's time for MLP Season 9, Episode 19. The end approaches. Alright. Join me again is Carlos.
Hello there, this is Governmental Jader here, just saying to you, hello, how do you do, and I hope you're ready for some rip-roaring, tongue-lashing, and fantastic adventures here in Ponyland.
Yeah, Skype's like the way they do, like, have names put up, it throws me off. It's like, I'm so used to the old hangout schedule. Anyway, next up, according to Skype, Heard of Bronies?
Hello, ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. Welcome back to Let's Watch MLP's final season.
And then, last but not least, officially second day.
Yay, we are.
Hello, this is Mr. and Mrs. Second Day.
Mr. and Mrs. Second Day.
Or maybe you could say opinion lover.
Almost.
Well, let's just say I put a ring on it.
Yay!
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Alright, but we're here to watch MLP Season 9. This episode presumably dealing with another ship. Who's more qualified to comment on that?
Yay.
Very much true, like who better than some new lovebirds?
Ironically, not the best episode for this because there's one coming up later, which even better for the idea. Anyway,
Hey.
I guess go. With that said, are you all ready to begin?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. We're gonna press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Kim Carter.
Ah, it's loud.
Ooh.
Another Sparity episode.
Sparity. And Spike.
I'm sorry to intrude on your own personal room.
In such a dramatic light.
Yep.
The Spike right in my custody. This is my restraining order. I now have no need of your services anymore.
Oh, you're going to manipulate him again to doing what you want? Or not? Okay. What, Spike?
Alright. Verity, you yelled so loud you turned the light on.
I haven't been listening.
Actually, how long has it been since the show remembered Spike can do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. He's just ignoring Rarity. What's going on?
Bless you.
Oh, the burn is real.
And suddenly,
something is more important than you, Rarity. That's not
good. You're no longer the number one thing to your crush.
He's no longer the number one thing in your mind now.
Ho's mad. Ho's mad. Ho's mad.
That diamond digger is gone.
Okay. Well, you've definitely got my attention.
Yeah, I hope like they're going to either do it or not do it. Yay! So cute then.
Okay.
We're back. Yay! Oh, so you went to the gem cave. Oh, who do you go with?
Okay. Opalescence?
Maybe. Or Maud.
Well, Opalescence isn't really
It'd be funny if it's a
really
cat
opposable
or
thumb
Sweetie
cat.
Belle or something.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Who can I get as hired labor?
Oh!
Oh.
I wasn't expecting that. Well. Oh. Stop the bet. Stop the bet.
You see,
AJ just got flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Also, look
well,
at
hello,
those
bats.
Oh no, hopefully there wasn't an iguana up there.
Ah!
Yes. Yeah, Twilight.
Well, I mean, this is the main
Just
thing about you.
door opening once.
Haven't seen that in a while.
Always has it on hand.
Even if it's a completely different style.
No, it does. Oh, maybe. We don't know. That's true.
Princess of Friendship Therapy sessions, 25 cents.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh my god.
Well, when you don't know what it's for. Oh, okay, well. Okay, what are you going to do, Rarity? You're going to go overboard. Good talk.
Alright. See, I wonder if it's
Yeah,
going to turn out that she does have something to be sorry for, and this fixes everything.
Oh, it's like how the male ponies are like, nope.
Yeah.
Gabby.
So, oh, we haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, I missed her.
Yeah.
I like her. Okay. Practice what? Oh, your apology? Okay. That matters. I don't know. What are you talking about? Oh, crystal stuff.
He's ready
Okay.
to shoot him. Pull out him.
This is a. It's not a charity. It's an apology. Come on.
Oh, the cringe.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of cringe is palpable here.
Okay.
Although, this doesn't, like, not make me laugh, though, because the episode is doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, it knows, it's aware of what it's doing. It's not just like,
Okay. Yeah, there's
Fail.
Spike. And what you doing?
I'm working on my apology to you, Spike.
But again, no, come on, it's not genuine. You're drinking. It's much. Yeah, that's awkward, very.
Really? So, I don't really know, like, we need the big deal, though, of what's actually Spike now. Can take an educated guess, but,
Yeah. Oh.
Spike, how could you?
yeah, that's not the first one I would have guessed.
No,
That was
but
a rather
that's
long
cute.
wait.
Like,
Hey.
Oh,
this-
Spike doesn't have a cute viewer.
The ice cream dripping is like is ignoring me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Spike and Gabby. I never think of an alternative ship like this.
They're not incorrect about their similarities there.
So what is their ship name? That's going to be hard. Yeah, Spike.
Abby.
Spiky.
Gabbity?
Sparkly.
So yeah, Spike is this episode is shipping Spike with the character that he can relate to for the different species thing that can fly around with Thorax. No, the other one. Ember? No. Gabby the Griffin.
Oh, they're cute. Yeah. The burn is real.
My slave is going away.
Yay.
I can't lead him around anymore? Like, what?
I can't get him to do whatever I want anymore. Oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do? Oh, I took cream footage. Why? That's a really bad plan. Putting salt in the wound one.
So much like custom face animations is actually in this episode, but in general, it's part of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, many seasons have been going for like meme faces, but
Oh, you can taste if they're pure. It's a fake diamond.
they're on to me.
Yeah. Oh, pure.
Oh, I accidentally
go.
sent a real one.
No, she doesn't know, yeah. Ew, no. Should be tasting diamonds. That's a bad idea.
Well,
Oh.
yeah, but I don't mind Gabby herself. This is like not against this.
Hey, I think the issue is like this is so out of left field.
Yeah,
I mean, they did like retcon contact into existence. These are two characters who.
Oh no! No, the joke. It's too much. No, I'll keep quiet.
Which, okay, well, I mean, it's true that Rarity and Spike. I mean, even if Rarity was never interested, like they have had a friendship, and like Rarity is not obligated to crush in return in any way.
Yeah, you're even using him as a pincushion. That's saying a lot. Oh. Oh, very shy. Okay.
That's good advice.
It's so weird how like all the main six are helping support her. Like it's okay. That was creepy.
Let's get cringy. Class, it's late or rather
You shouldn't
early.
be doing this to your friends, waking them up early or late in the night. Just surprise them like that. That's weird. Breaking a line, Rarity. Yes. Oh, come on, Rarity. Oh, you're too much.
Okay.
Wow. Gabby was only there for a couple of days, right? What was that? Ooh.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh, wow.
It's not like I
No,
did it
Rarity.
on purpose or anything.
No. Oh, this is.
Love triangle hijinks.
Oh, yay. That. Yeah, Gabby, you're too nice.
I mean, I don't know what happens. I think
Wow, the main
she's the maniac.
maniac.
Cosplay.
There's a Fluttershy small plush.
What's the name? The other one where Fluttershy hulks out. The name of the hero.
Butter Hulk. No, I don't. Oh, okay. You said you were sleeping, Spike. Oh, this is really manipulating Spike. No. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay, Rarity is really leaning into this to decide to be interested in ogres and hooligans.
Oh,
She's so sweet.
She's so sweet, yeah. You're too sweet, Gabby. Oh, she's going to see them together now.
Yeah, well.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Or did Rarity call herself? Oh yeah, her disguise is. No wait, that was Plainity. What was she calling herself? Sparity before?
Yeah, that's true. Oh no, that's not. Oh, that's not going to work.
The third act breakup.
Oh.
Oh, his face. Well, he's so sad. He doesn't care anymore. Oh, come on,
She
Rarity.
misses too.
Oh.
It's kind of the opposite of what I got from that image. Rarity has to slide it across his tongue.
Oh, look at the face. He's almost seemed melted. Oh, wow. Then you are, like, really sad.
You haven't?
No. Rarity, come on. Oh, there we go. Yes, they were. The fainting couch.
That anger face.
Yes, you did. Oh, interesting, Twilight. Yes, you do.
Is that all you guys have to say about this? Like,
It's a step
I
forward.
just do now.
Twilight took the fainting couch.
I mean, like, it's not over until it's over, but I mean, it's
I
like,
know.
I mean, it's been the last few seasons, it's been on more of a
Look at that.
conventional trajectory.
Okay, very
Uh,
going a little overboard here.
this episode knows how to have fun with Sparity.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What is genuine here? You're jealous.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, just like her personality is irrepressible.
Oh, he was blushing.
And they're gone again.
Yep, they're gone. Mm. Oh, Pinky. Okay. Hey, Spike.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay. So you want both?
Wait. So,
That's yay. Woo! They're not happy.
I didn't say that, but it's just like, okay, they can't answer the question. They have to,
Yeah.
like, I mean, Spike's had the crush on Rarity so long. Like, this is, like, I mean, they're basically treating this like the point where that finally changes. I mean, like, this episode really, really gets your attention from the start with all the yeah, notion of this finally changing, and now Rarity having to uh, realize how she feels about Spike after all of the above, and and I mean, it's like, heck, even the trying to get his attention back, the competing with Gabby for his attention is kind of, well, you understand why she's doing it. You do feel for her, even though you know she's wrong. You know, you understand, like, yeah, why she feels like she gets something out of her going through these lengths. But I mean, it's like they land they bring it in for a landing with, it is a moral about when you make a new friend, that does not mean you are not still friends with the old friend, and Spike will always be friends with Rarity. And, like, heck, you could even interpret his last line as a thing that, like, well, no, Rarity's the one I really like still.
Oh.
Well, okay,
Although
I guess
he was blushing at Gabby this time, so
maybe. Well, I mean, okay, they do still say that we have friendship. I guess that is the moral here, but I mean, it's just, it's like it's afraid to.
Yeah, I think
What the bronies will say, or if it's just like, this show is not about relationships. We need to be for the kids, and that's especially frustrating because even with that, this is not only a great episode, but I think it's my favorite one of the season, honestly.
I would not go that far, but I think I get what you're saying earlier. Where I think the best way to summarize this episode, it's shockingly not committal. It's shockingly non-committal with like what it's doing with Spike, Rarity, and Gabby.
Just going to
Like,
be
is it-
friends, everybody, like Bon Bon and Lyra. We're such best
Yeah,
friends, everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, that at least seems like they're leaning into what they actually, like the implication being something else a little bit. This, yeah, like, I mean, I didn't even realize, like, how that was on the first half until it started, working its way down the conventional road, and I mean, but it just, like, everything about the first half, just, like, just watching, just heck, the sheer impact of watching Rarity have to adjust to this and, come to terms with how she feels and, like, think back on, what the show has earned, like, has built up over time that, okay, no, they do really have a friendship here, and you only saw them doing a couple of these things, like with the gems and the pins and stuff, but no, you can totally believe that they do it all, and that, like, Rarity has gotten this used to it by now because they've shown it all happening over time. You can see how she's having to miss this and how her just kind of letting Spike's crush be, how it's like, well, okay, if that's what you're gonna do, then you have to be ready for the moment where, he moves on, because I mean that he's not just gonna sit in the crush zone forever, and I mean, not that she's obligated to, return his feelings or anything like that, but I mean, all the same, it's like, okay, if that's the approach you're gonna take, then this is gonna happen eventually, and now it's like, all right, you're not in the safe zone just leaving him out there. You're gonna have to cope with your feelings too. I mean, that's like just all of that it's delivered so well in the first half. I mean, it does such a good job of making you think about all of that stuff, and it's like, I mean, I guess I've seen this I've felt kind of like this before. Like, the first half was really on a hot streak, and it was because you you never check all the way out, even as the second half goes down the more unspectacular route.
Yeah. I'm
um,
disappointed with this. Them not saying what it is 100%.
yeah. I think this episode still doesn't break away from the idea that I established way back when, which is, when Spike got his wings of his episode. Yeah, I rare Spike, rare Sparity just, it seems abusive at this point still, and honestly, like I said before, like I would honestly be more okay with a gosh,
Spike.
no, like not Gabby's. I would honestly be more okay with Thorax and Spike and Ember and Spike. Either of those are more okay with this.
Yeah.
And now I can also add Gabby to the list too.
Oh.
They actually
is with
treat
the
Spike as
interracial.
an equal.
It's the interracial ship, man.
To be fair, I mean, I don't know if, well, at least at this point in their relationship, I don't know if Rarity doesn't per se. I mean, just because someone has a crush on you, it doesn't mean does not mean you're required to reciprocate, of course, and it also doesn't mean that you're
The problem
required to hold them at an arm's length to do anything like that. If you
problem
want to be there, if you have an agreement to be friends, I mean, that's like, you can't put a microphone in the other person's head. That's like, they have to.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be abusing that friendship with making them do stuff for you.
Yeah, I mean, Rarity is selfish at points, like that's a bit of a character, but I mean, like, the only times I can remember it seeming like she took advantage of it is like when she is almost almost like not. Well, I mean, it's almost like when she has Sweetie Belle do all the work when she goes camping. It's almost like she
Well, Sweetie
doesn't.
Belle's family, so.
Well, I mean, it's like it's less an act of like being of conniving and just almost more like thoughtless. Like, hey, oh here, could you hold the bags for a while? Camping in the wood. Oh, Sweetie Belle's putting on me. I suppose. Jeez, I may or may not be making her do all the work in an immensely unfair proportion.
But none of the things like she was reminiscing about made it any better for me. Like all of the things that Spike does is actually, work. It's not, she wasn't showing anything with them like just, unless you count the face stuff. That was the only thing that they did together where they were flexing. Or else it was Spike that was taking the bags. It was Spike that was tasting the diamonds. It was Spike that did the scripts with the fabric. It's a little much.
Well, I mean, granted, you could argue that all of that stuff is for
too,
the benefit of rarity, but I mean, it's like
symbolism for what
I mean,
he
yes,
is.
it's not like one of them is. Well,
Yeah.
okay, maybe with the gem catching, it's like
Yes.
a little bit, but I mean, yeah, it's not like, hey, could you come with me and do all the work? It's like, okay, hey, let's tag team and use what we both do best to get this thing done.
Yeah, and also, sorry, I was freaking out at the ice cream scene, but there's a object in that scene, like Gabby gives Spike a cherry and Spike eats it, and I'm not seeing anything, but yeah.
No, yeah,
Oh,
like
boy,
that's what I
Peter
said.
that was just like, okay, yeah, it's official now. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
And the call goes silent.
Yeah, the call. That was too much for the call. I apologize. Come back.
Well then.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I could give my 2 cents on this episode, Dragon
go ahead.
Drop. Dragon Drop indeed has been like it might not have been like the satisfying conclusion to Sparity that like many people wanted from the beginning. But like with how this series has progressed, this might be the best outcome for those who were like who grew tired of the Sparity or like in this case like Spike being like constantly being used by Rarity all the time.
Yeah, but he
So,
still wants his Sparity time though.
Yeah, so see, it still could be Sparity. Maybe we'll wait and see how the bronies react.
No.
I mean,
Please, no.
I will go on record saying I actively hate if that is the reason,
Yes.
but it's more likely, I guess, that it's, well, we can't talk about relationships too much here. It is still my little
like they have,
pony, even though
they
they
have
did come back
ponies
in Sugar
that
Bowl.
they have ponies that are getting married. They have ponies that are in really serious relationships, like Big Mac and Sugar Bell.
I don't know. Yeah,
So,
for whatever reason, it seems like they got cold feet
tiptoeing
about it, or they decided,
around
well, it is the
Sparity.
show about friendship, therefore we should say that we mean friendship after all.
She was actually breaking that big crystal and just this. Just wrong.
Although, but yeah, and like, okay, I described an episode that's like half an A and half a B earlier, and I mean, or 2/3 an A and 1/3 a B. And yeah, to clarify, like to say something is the best episode of season 9, at least on my card, like season 9 is on the fast track to become the most middle of the road season of all the seasons. I think on my card, like I have given thumbs down so far, even though I came pretty darn close a couple of times, and even though I've given more A's than I have in than like season 8, for example.
I'm sorry, I'm going.
Okay. Yeah, do you have any last thoughts to give? Okay, yeah, I'll be close behind. So I guess this is my closing out here. But yeah, like even though I've given like I've have season 9 at 4 A's so far, but like season 8 well, cracked my top 20 a couple of times with its 2 great episodes. Season 9, like, they're all A minuses. I would have to go a lot farther back on my list of great episodes before these started showing up. I mean, does anybody disagree? Does season 9 have an episode that Grand Slam, hit it out of the park? This is
Then the Dragon Drop.
about this episode.
Honestly, I mean, even frenemies wouldn't be like that big. I think the only one I might consider might have been Sparkle 7, or the beginning of the end.
Yeah, those are my 3 other great episodes as well, but I think they're all kind of A minuses because, like beginning of the end, I thought it had its points where had to lean into the melodrama to give it substance that it might have otherwise had. Sparkle 7 and Frenemies. I mean, they like I hate to say this because this anything can be done with a villain, but it's almost like the value of what they are. I mean, Frenemies, it has a lot of potential in these villain characters playing them off each other, and it does that well. It manages to be great in that. It's just I almost feel like they're, if you want a great villain episode, there's another level you maybe could have taken that up to, whereas this is just good, enjoyable fun with the villains, enjoying what they are and how they act off each other and all of that. I guess for the same reason, just the choice of the episode and demonstrate what they love about playing these characters, what it is they wanted to say, and the character development of Spike and Twilight they came up with that. Definitely one of their better albums.
For me, Dragon Drop is definitely the episode I feel does the conflict. One of the main six, acting very much mean and cruel, the best out of say any of the later season episodes. Because Rarity is the perfect candidate to abuse her want for Spike to always be on her shoulder to to that sort of point when she realized that super assistant that was always there for her suddenly gone.
Yeah, it's mean, it's wrong, but it's relatable.
Absolutely. Compare that to say how Twilight was in in the A Trivial Pursuit, which even though I found that fun and a little understandable, this is more understandable.
I mean, well, I don't know. Is it? I mean, I'm a little. I have an allergic reaction to the too mean critique, even though that Trivial Pursuit, where it's kind of hijinksy there, I'm totally on your side. But what's a classic too mean episode? Putting Your Hoof Down, for instance. People say, oh, that's a bad episode because Fluttershy is too mean. A character can't be mean in a way that a character would be mean under these, very psychologically astute influences, or a depiction of, a very psychologically astute depiction of what changes people and what gets them to cut loose way too far. No. She was mean, so the episode sucks. Although you're saying that this is the best episode to do that in later seasons, I don't know if I could think of anything to argue with you on that front with. I mean, I don't know. Do people say too mean with Secrets and Pies, or is it just or is that not too mean and just morally wrong? How dare you not teach the... I don't know. Secrets and Pies. Do Secrets and Pies count as a quote-unquote mean episode?
I don't think it's really the problem with Secrets and Pies isn't Rainbow Dash being mean. It's Pinkie Pie's the problem.
Pinkie Pie's still hilarious with the fantasies and the psychological obsession in exactly a Pinkie Pie sort of way. And okay, I'm getting sidetracked, and Daylover would say that episode's not the point if she were still here. But okay, so if Secrets and Pies doesn't count, then yeah, I don't think I can fight Carlos with that on anything. I don't think the recent seasons has a quote-unquote character acting mean or morally wrong or something like that episode that tops this one.
I think the last really bad one was the Pinkie Pie and the Philly Vanilli.
Okay, well, that's another one, like, okay, granted, it's not, well, okay, cut to the chase. I absolutely love that first scene because I think it is a 100% picture-perfect parody of moments like that. Because, like, they did that joke, like, 2 or 3 times before that with, like, what is there to be afraid of? You will only be in front of a large crowd that will be silently judging you and watching your every movement. Like, that joke is so cringy and so obvious and so just dumb. Like, I mean, the only way it could be worse is if they had the character wink at the audience or something like that, and then here Pinkie Pie comes along as though in her Pinkie Pie logic, like, oh, I know how that's supposed to work. Like, yeah, I tell you that you will be in front of a large crowd that will be watching you and silently judging you and thinking about why wasn't it them, right, and wanting to turn on you the second they get a chance and run you out of Ponyville. See, this is how this moment works, right? I'm being so helpful. I don't know. That's how it struck me the first time I saw it, but I guess, again, I'm getting sidetracked. I don't know. So, okay, fine. Sure.
Yeah, I guess.
Dropped is the first place mean episode in this portion of the season.
All right. Any other final thoughts before we head out?
Not really. I don't really have that many thoughts about this episode, except the fact that it seems like the moral seems kind of too basic that it feels like we already had it already, like, or something.
Like, it is kind of true because they do lean into it as the square cut moral. Like, if it's just, okay, you'll always be friends even if a new one comes along, then you could say it's the same as make new friends but keep discord, for example. But, like, yeah, I guess for me it just stays afloat because I see, at least with the first half, the intention seems very clearly to draw from the shipping, the Spike and Rarity's relationship throughout the seasons, which it does pretty well for a while. But yeah, I guess I can't not sympathize if the moral hits and you're just like, oh, okay, it's just the same old not special moral.
Yeah, as for me, this episode is definitely a great one. I'm not so sure about whether that's rate it as top 10 because I still have I feel like it's great elements of this. Maybe just my conflicting feelings because they didn't plan out like Sparity. Like they just thought it was gonna be a simple character cliche of Spike at the beginning, but to see it go this far, and at least Rarity was very much in character, and I really did appreciate it quite a lot. Certainly better than Rainbow Dash or Twilight in this position, or Applejack.
It did have moments of, like, witty writing, like, I realize it is rather late, or rather early, but... yeah.
Also, why didn't Rarity ever think of doing things with Spike and Gabby? Like, it's such a simple fix.
Can't fly?
Well, flying doesn't have to do... That doesn't block everything from that, but...
I mean...
They can find things to do together that doesn't involve flying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, like a more tactful character could have proposed, like, oh, why don't we meet up on the weekends and stuff, but, like the mail routes, Rarity would have had to invite herself onto those. Like, I can see why someone as dramatic as Rarity cuts to thinking of it as a competition.
Well, I guess with that said, any other final thoughts before we head out? Any final ones? I guess
Best
just
of
off of
season 9 for me, but if it ends up being my favorite, then I think season 9 will be the season that ends up with my least favorite, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for me, I feel more with Alex, where just sort of I think it's a fine episode, but it's not really bad or good. I'm just sort of like meh about it. It's like, again, my biggest thing for me is like it's shockingly non-committal. Yeah, but like it's like, oh yeah, this is addressing the Sparity thing, but also at the same time not. Um, but overall, I would still find it a good episode that sort of, like Carlos said, sort of offers resolution in the sense that, like, hey, we're at least addressing the ship, even if we're not giving necessarily a response to it. We're leaving it open to where we could see, okay, the way it's set up, like you could see Spike moving on from Rarity after this episode, and Rarity being okay with it, because she has to sort of accept that Spike does his own thing, sort of thing. But
I do double down on the point, like if I had to make some sort of defense pointing to, like, this is resolution, they do double down on that line, friendships do change at the end. Like, Rarity repeats it, and, like, in the last scene, and, yeah.
But I guess with that said, see y'all next week.
Take
See ya.
care.
Hello, this is Jen, ready to review the episode. Wow. This was actually kind of a heavy episode, and I say that as being a Rarity fan. This was interesting seeing Rarity kind of act like a jealous girlfriend in a sense, but at the same time a very big maturing for Spike. I'm not sure whether the timing of it, maybe the timing of it was pretty good because it was perfect for it since this is the final season and all. But a very big maturing thing for Spike. I mean, him finding other interests and such. I mean, him getting his wings and everything, and now apparently a new friendship with Gabby. And now it actually kind of hurt a little bit to see Rarity kind of put aside and everything, and it seems Spike has matured. He doesn't have those childish crush feelings for Rarity anymore. Kind of sad, but at the same time, I think kind of necessary in Spike's evolution here. And for Gabby, I couldn't think of probably Smolder, which I still can't believe is a girl. But other than Gabby, it's kind of out of left field, but yet when you explain it, it kind of works. Dare we say, brand new ship, Gabby Dragon, Gabby Spike. Why not? Not quite sure I'm on it yet, but who knows? Somebody could make a bigger case. But either way, this actually made me, as a Rarity fan, this was a little tough to watch to see Rarity not be generous, but no pony's perfect. But also it's also natural for Rarity to kind of be like she was used to being in like Spike's tunnel vision, but yet it's different when you're not anymore. So it was a little bit of a maturing thing that she had to do, and it was kind of funny and kind of silly, kind of acting like a jealous girlfriend. And also, why the gramophone? Why did it have to be a gramophone? What, couldn't it have been a boombox like in the movie Say Anything? I'm willing to bet money that I think somebody was like, let's have Rarity holding a boombox. Like, no, that would be too much of a reference. But still, quite funny. And the resolution was good. That at least, when Spike was like, he'll always want his Rarity time. I think that's really a whole new step for their relationship. Dare I say the Spike Rarity ship has, I think it may have sunk, but it's matured into a proper friendship. But if you are one of those shippers, yeah, that's why you have fan fiction. But overall, a pretty good episode. Very heavy, but very good, very good. Yeah, that's my view on it. But yes, that's a good episode.